Marcus Johnson had been serving champagne to Hollywood's elite for 4 hours when his hands started shaking. April 2nd, 1974. The Beverly Hilton Hotel. The annual Governor's Ball following the 46th Academy Awards. 2,000 people in formal wear. Crystal chandeliers throwing light across marble floors. An orchestra playing standards while celebrities pretended they weren't constantly performing even at their own parties. Before we continue with the story, you can support us by subscribing to the channel and liking the video. Don't forget to write in the comments where you're watching from and how old you are. Let's continue. Marcus was 28 years old, black, working his way through UCLA Law School by serving drinks to people who made more in a night than he'd see in a year. He'd been on his feet since 6 p.m. setting up. It was now past 11 p.m. His feet ached. His face hurt from maintaining the service industry smile. And his patience for casual condescension was wearing dangerously thin. He'd already been called son by 3 different men old enough to be his father, but who meant it the other way. Had been snapped at twice for not refilling glasses fast enough. Had watched the actress drop a full glass of wine and blame him for handing it to her wrong. This was the job. Smile. Apologize. Move on. Cash the check. Pay the rent. Pass the bar exam. Get out. 2 more hours, he told himself. 2 more hours and you're done. Then he saw John Wayne. The Duke stood near the back of the ballroom, holding court with a cluster of old Hollywood. 66 years old. 6'4", broad-shouldered even in his tuxedo. American icon. Conservative warrior. The face of a certain kind of America that Marcus had spent 2 years in Vietnam allegedly defending. Marcus had learned in the army to spot men like Wayne from a distance. Men who loved the military in theory, but had never served. Men who sent other people's sons to die while building careers on pretending to be soldiers. Men who wrapped themselves in the flag and then treated actual veterans like Marcus with contempt the moment the uniform came off. He told himself to avoid that section of the ballroom. Let another waiter handle it. But his supervisor caught his eye and gestured. Wayne's group needed attention. Marcus was closest. He picked up a tray of champagne flutes, took a breath, crossed the ballroom. "Excuse me, Mr. Wayne, would you like?" The word came out like a slap. Boy, not a question, not even really a statement, just a designation, a reminder of place, said with the casual certainty of someone who'd been saying it his whole life without consequence. "I didn't ask for anything," Wayne continued, not even looking at Marcus directly. "When I want something, I'll call for you. Until then, you keep your distance." The men around Wayne, actors whose faces Marcus recognized from movies, producers whose names he'd heard, shifted uncomfortably. But nobody said anything. That was the thing about power. It made everyone around it complicit through silence. Marcus's jaw tightened. His training kicked in. The training from the army. Yes, sir. No, sir. Take the disrespect and move on because fighting back gets you court-martialed. The training from every service job he'd worked since coming home. Smile. Apologize. The customer is always right even when they're wrong. Yes, sir. My apologies. He started to move away. Tried to. But Wayne wasn't done. And take that empty glass on the table. That's what you people are here for. You people. The words landed like they were designed to. Marcus turned back. Reached for the empty champagne flute on the cocktail table near Wayne's elbow. His hand was shaking. From exhaustion, from anger, from the effort of swallowing words that wanted desperately to come out. The glass slipped, shattered on the marble floor. The sound cut through the ballroom. Conversations near them stopped. People turned to look. Marcus's heart sank. He'd given Wayne exactly what Wayne wanted, evidence of incompetence. Proof that the help couldn't even handle simple tasks. Wayne stepped back dramatically, brushing at his tuxedo pants where a few drops of water had splashed. Jesus Christ. Now look what you've done. Can't even handle a simple glass. He turned to the circle of men around him. His voice carried now, loud enough for nearby tables to hear. This is what happens when they let them into places they don't belong. No training, no class, just affirmative action, making everyone uncomfortable. The laughter was polite, quiet, but it happened. These successful men, directors and producers and actors who probably voted Democrat, who probably considered themselves progressive, laughed at John Wayne's joke about a black waiter. Because laughing at the right jokes kept you in the right circles. Because silence looked like agreement, and agreement looked like loyalty. Marcus knelt to pick up the glass pieces. His face was burning. Other waiters moved to help, but Wayne waved them off like he was conducting an orchestra. No, let him clean his own mess. Maybe he'll learn to be more careful around his betters. That last word, betters, hung in the air like smoke. Marcus kept his eyes down, picked up glass pieces, felt 2,000 years of history pressing on the back of his neck, felt the weight of every ancestor who'd had to swallow their dignity to survive, felt his own rage contained only by the knowledge that losing this job meant losing everything he'd worked for. Across the ballroom, Muhammad Ali had been nursing a glass of orange juice and wondering why he'd accepted the invitation to this event. He didn't belong here, didn't fit. Hollywood was a different kind of ring, and Ali had never learned its rules. He'd been watching the room, people watching the way he always did, studying faces, reading body language, looking for the truth beneath the performance. And he'd seen the whole thing unfold. Seen Wayne's posture, the casual cruelty of someone who'd never been checked. Seen the waiter's shoulders, the tension of someone trying not to break. Seen the circle of men laughing, the cowardice of the comfortable. Ali set down his glass, started walking. Not quickly, not rushing, but with purpose. People parted automatically. When Muhammad Ali moved with intent, you got out of the way. He stopped 5 feet from John Wayne, close enough that the temperature in the immediate vicinity seemed to drop, close enough that Wayne felt the presence before seeing it and turned. "Can I help you with something?" Wayne's tone made it clear help wasn't what he was offering. Ali looked at Wayne, then at Marcus, still on his knees gathering glass, then back at Wayne. "Yeah," Ali said, his voice carrying in the sudden quiet. "You can apologize." Wayne blinked. "Excuse me?" To him, Ali gestured to Marcus. "You disrespected him, called a boy, treated him like property. So apologize." The ballroom didn't go completely silent. 2,000 people don't go silent all at once. But a pocket of silence formed around them. A circle of attention expanding outward. People sensing something was happening. Something they want to say they'd witnessed. Wayne's face hardened. "I don't know who you think you are. Muhammad Ali, heavyweight champion of the world. And the man telling you to apologize to this waiter for treating him like he's less than human. He's working. I'm a guest. I don't apologize to the help." "Then maybe," Ali said, his voice dropping lower, more dangerous, "you should learn." The circle around them had grown. 50 people now, then 100. Conversations stopping as word spread. Ali and Wayne were having a confrontation. People moved closer, wanted to see, wanted to hear. One of the men in Wayne's group, an older actor whose career had been built on westerns, whose face Marcus recognized from late-night TV, tried to de-escalate. "Gentlemen, this is a party. Let's not make a scene." "This stopped being a party," Ali said, not taking his eyes off Wayne, "when he decided to humiliate someone for the color of his skin. This became something else, something uglier. And now we're going to finish it." Wayne drew himself up to his full height. 6'4", broad-shouldered, a physical presence built over decades of playing cowboys and soldiers. A man used to being the biggest, toughest person in any room. But he wasn't the toughest person in this room. Both men knew it. Everyone watching knew it. "The boy dropped a glass," Wayne said. "I reacted. That's all." The man, Ali emphasized the word, had an accident. And you used it as an excuse to remind him, and everyone watching, that you think he's beneath you. That's not reacting. That's revealing. You showed everyone here exactly who you are. "And who am I?" Ali said 5 words that made the entire ballroom freeze. "A bully in a costume." The silence was absolute. You could hear the orchestra in the next room, still playing. The clink of glasses at the distant bar. Someone's sharp intake of breath. John Wayne, the Duke, American hero, symbol of rugged individualism and old-fashioned values, had just been called a bully by Muhammad Ali in front of Hollywood's elite. And nobody was laughing now. Wayne's face went red. "You've got a lot of nerve." "About exactly the right amount of nerve." Ali cut him off. Enough to stand up to the United States government when they told me to fight a war I didn't believe in. Enough to give up my title and my career for what I believed was right. So yeah, I've got enough nerve to tell you that calling a grown man boy and mocking him for an accident isn't tough. It's pathetic. I've served my country. In movies, Ali said, pretend wars. Pretend courage. Ali gestured to Marcus, still frozen on his knees. He probably served for real. Did you serve, brother? Marcus looked up. His eyes met Ali's. For a moment, he couldn't speak. Then, yes, sir. Army. Vietnam. 2 tours. 101st Airborne. Came home in 72. The information landed like a bomb in the middle of the ballroom. Marcus wasn't just a waiter. He was a Vietnam veteran. The war John Wayne had championed in every interview. The war Muhammad Ali had refused. And John Wayne had just called him boy. Ali turned back to Wayne. So let me get this straight. This man fought in the war you were so eager to send other people's sons to fight. He served. He risked his life. He came home, and instead of getting parades, he's working his way through law school by serving champagne to people like you. And you treated him like he's beneath you because he had the nerve to exist in your space while black. Wayne's mouth opened, closed. The mathematics of the moment were working against him. His entire brand was built on patriotism and military support. He couldn't attack a veteran. Not here. Not publicly. I didn't know he was a veteran, Wayne said, voice quieter now. Would it have mattered? Ali's question cut through the excuse. If he wasn't a veteran, would it have been okay to treat him like that? Does he need to have bled for this country to deserve basic respect? Or is basic respect something every human being deserves just for being human? Wayne said nothing. Any answer made him look worse. The trap was complete. Ali turned to Marcus, extended his hand. Get up, brother. Nobody should be on their knees in front of these people. Marcus took Ali's hand. Stood. Ali kept holding it. Kept Marcus standing next to him. United front. 2 black men facing down Hollywood aristocracy. This man, Ali said, addressing the crowd that had gathered, his voice carrying across the ballroom now, wore the uniform. Fought the war. Came home, and instead of demanding parades or praise or even basic recognition, he's working hard to build a future. That's real courage. That's actual American values. Not playing cowboys in movies. Not standing in hotel ballrooms, treating people like property. Working. Struggling. Surviving. That's what real looks like. He turned back to Wayne. So, I'm going to ask you one more time. Apologize. The standoff stretched. Wayne looking at Ali. Ali looking back. Marcus between them. Suddenly the center of something much bigger than a dropped glass. The entire governor's ball watching. 2,000 people bearing witness. Finally, Wayne spoke. His voice was controlled, but clearly costing him something. I apologize for calling you boy. That was disrespectful. To him, Ali said. Say it to him. Not to the crowd. Not to me. To him. Wayne's eyes shifted to Marcus. The 2 men looked at each other. Veteran and veteran. One who'd fought. One who'd championed the fighting from a safe distance. I apologize, Wayne said directly to Marcus. You served your country. You deserve respect. I was wrong. Marcus nodded. Didn't speak. What was there to say? The apology had been extracted under pressure, not offered freely. But it had been given, publicly, in front of witnesses. That was something. Ali released Marcus's hand. Get back to work, brother. Hold your head up. You got nothing to be ashamed of. Thank you, Mr. Ali. Marcus managed. Don't thank me. You earned your dignity. I just reminded these people to recognize it. Marcus walked away, picked up his tray, moved back into the rhythm of service. But something had changed. People looked at him differently now, with a mix of curiosity and respect and something that might have been shame. The crowd began dispersing. The show was over, but people were talking, would keep talking. This moment would spread through Hollywood like wildfire, would make gossip columns, would become the story people told about the '74 Oscars party. Ali and Wayne stood facing each other alone now. The crowd had given them space, waited to see if there was more. You humiliated me, Wayne said quietly. No, Ali replied. You humiliated yourself. I just made sure everyone noticed. Ali turned to walk away. Wayne's voice stopped him. You don't know anything about me. about what I've lived through, what I've sacrificed. Ali turned back. You're right. I don't. But I know what I saw tonight. And what I saw was a powerful man using his power to make someone powerless feel smaller. That tells me enough. My son died in Vietnam. The words stopped Ali cold. Wayne's face was rigid, but his eyes were wet. My son Tommy died in Da Nang in 1969, 24 years old. Marine, killed by a sniper 3 weeks before his tour was up. And you know what kills me? Knowing that men like you, famous, influential, loud, spent that whole war telling young men not to fight, telling them the war was wrong, telling them to resist. While my son went anyway because his father had spent his whole career glorifying military service. And he died anyway. Wayne's voice was shaking. So when I see someone like him, he gestured toward where Marcus had been, someone who went, who served, who survived when my son didn't. It reminds me. And I lash out because I'm angry, because it should have been me in that jungle, because Tommy died and I kept making movies and pretending I knew what war was when I'd never fired a shot in combat. The confession hung between them. Raw, ugly, true. Ali's expression showed something complicated. Not sympathy exactly, but recognition. I'm sorry about your son. That's real grief, real loss. But your son didn't die because of me. He died because powerful men sent him to fight a war that shouldn't have been fought. And taking your pain out on a waiter who survived that same war? That's not honoring Tommy. That's just spreading the hurt around. Wayne wiped his eyes roughly. You don't get to tell me how to grieve. You're right. I don't. But I can tell you that calling a black veteran boy isn't grief. It's something else. And you know it. They stood there. Two men on opposite sides of every cultural divide America had. Vietnam, race, patriotism, what meant to be strong, what meant to serve. I did apologize, Wayne said. You did. That's something. Doesn't erase what you said. Doesn't erase what you believe. But it's something. What do you want from me? To suddenly become you? To believe everything you believe? No. I want you to see people like Marcus as people. Not as representatives of something you're angry about. Not as targets for your grief. Just as people trying to survive the same broken world you are. Wayne was quiet. Then, you really think I'm a bully? Tonight you were. Other nights? I don't know. But tonight you used your power to hurt someone weaker. That's what bullies do. Doesn't matter what you're grieving. Doesn't matter what you've lost. Cruelty is cruelty. Wayne looked at Ali for a long moment. Nodded slowly. I won't apologize to you for what I think about Vietnam or patriotism. We'll never agree on that. I don't need you to agree. I just need you to treat people with respect, even people who remind you of pain. I'll try. That's all anyone can do. They didn't shake hands, didn't have a movie moment of reconciliation, just acknowledged each other and walked in different directions. The party continued, but the story was already spreading. By midnight, everyone at the governor's ball knew about the confrontation. By morning, it would be in the newspapers. By the end of the week, it would be everywhere. Marcus Johnson worked the rest of his shift. People approached him all night. Some to apologize for not speaking up. Some to thank him for his service. Some just to shake his hand. He accepted it all with the same professional grace he'd shown before Wayne called him boy. At 2 a.m., when the party finally ended, Marcus changed out of his uniform in the staff locker room. Another waiter, an older black man named Curtis who'd been doing this for 20 years, sat down next to him. You okay, kid? Yeah, I'm okay. That was something what Ali did. Yeah. You know what the best part was? Curtis asked. What? Ali didn't just defend you. He made you part of it. Pulled you up. Made you stand next to him. Showed everyone you weren't just a victim. You were a man with dignity. That's the difference between helping someone and empowering them. Marcus thought about that. About standing next to Muhammad Ali. About Ali holding his hand and not letting go until Marcus was ready. He saw me, Marcus said quietly. In a room full of people looking through me, Ali saw me. That's what the great ones do. Marcus finished changing, walked out to his car, drove home to his small apartment near UCLA, got 4 hours of sleep, woke up at 6 a.m. to study for a constitutional law exam. Life continued, but something had changed. The story made the newspapers the next day. Not front page, the Oscars themselves got that. But entertainment sections ran it. Ali and Wayne clash at Governor's Ball. Argument over waiter highlights racial tensions. Marcus gave a few interviews. Said Ali had been kind. Said Wayne's apology seemed genuine even if forced. Said he hoped something good came from the moment. Then he went back to his life. School. Work. The long climb toward becoming an attorney. He graduated UCLA Law in 1976. Passed the California bar on his first try. Became a civil rights lawyer specializing in workplace discrimination. Spent 40 years fighting in courtrooms the battles Ali had fought in ballrooms. John Wayne died in 1979. Cancer. In his final months, giving what would be his last interviews, he was asked about Muhammad Ali. "We disagreed on everything," Wayne said, his voice raspy from disease. Vietnam, patriotism, what it means to be an American. But he was right that night at the Oscars. "I was wrong. I let my grief over Tommy turn into cruelty towards someone who didn't deserve it. Ali called me on it, publicly, and I've thought about that every day since." "Did you ever speak to him again?" "Once. Year later, different event. I told him I'd been trying to see people instead of as symbols of things I was angry about. He said that's all anyone can ask. We still didn't agree on Vietnam, but we didn't need to." The interviewer pressed, "Do you think the confrontation changed you?" Wayne was quiet for a long moment. Then, "I think it revealed me. Showed me who I'd become. Showed everyone. And when you see yourself clearly, really clearly, you either change or you accept that you're okay with being that person. I wasn't okay with it. So yeah, it changed me. Too late to fix everything, but better late than never." When John Wayne died, Muhammad Ali sent flowers to the funeral. The card said, "He apologized when he was wrong and tried to be better." That's more than most people do. Muhammad Ali died in 2016. By then, Marcus Johnson was 69 years old. Retired judge, former civil rights attorney, respected member of the legal community. He attended Ali's memorial service in Louisville. Sat in the back. Didn't speak. But when it was over, he stayed behind. Walked up to Ali's casket. Put his hand on it. "Thank you," he said quietly, "for seeing me that night. For standing with me. For reminding me, and everyone watching, that dignity isn't something people give you. It's something you have. They can only take it if you let them. You taught me that. I spent 40 years teaching it to others." He paused. "Rest easy, champ. You fought the good fight. All of them. In the ring and out." The story of what happened at the 1974 Governor's Ball became part of Hollywood legend. Gets told and retold. Details change in the retelling. Some versions have Ali and Wayne almost fighting. Others have Wayne breaking down completely. But the core remains. A powerful man disrespected someone he saw as beneath him. And Muhammad Ali made him apologize. Not with fists, not with threats, with 5 words, a bully in a costume. Sometimes 5 words are enough. Enough to make a ballroom go silent. Enough to force a reckoning. Enough to remind everyone watching that power used to diminish others isn't power at all. It's just weakness wearing a tuxedo. The story you just heard was written by me.